Good day everyone and welcome back to SCP Illustrated, entry log 85. The finale has come about and here we are on the last entry into the SCP-173 series. Today we will be looking at the termination of SCP-173. Now this is not official, it's not an official termination. Just like the SCP-096 video I did a while back, this is a video looking at a way of possibly terminating SCP-173. As far as the wiki is concerned, SCP-173 is still alive and snapping on the website. Now before we get into this, it would be worth understanding what SCP-173 and SCP-106 are, so if you don't know what they are, I would suggest watching some videos on them first to get an understanding of what they do and how they work. Other than that, let's begin. The following data release has been authorised by the following council members and administration staff. Site 17 Maintenance Report. Task: to determine the reason as to why MTF and technicians were unable to remotely close the door to SCP-106's containment cell. Analysis: considerable damage was done to the main power generator during the containment breach. The presence of bullet holes suggests either sabotage or accidental damage during MTF cleanup. A bullet impacted the main power line to the kettle wing, causing power arcing leading to intermittent power failures to many systems. The delay in the door closing is either due to the power failure from the main generator or from the system attempting to redirect power from the backup generator. Resolution: the generator is currently being repaired. Necessary parts are being transferred from site. It will be operational again in 1 week. The backup generator will be sufficient should the main power line fail. Senior Engineer. There was a crack over the site-wide intercom system, a low whimper that built into a beautiful scream. And the old man tilted his head to the side. They were playing his song. He could tell there were notes of fear and anger in that scream. A well-seasoned meal. The old man disappeared into the floor immediately. The researcher he'd been chasing made it into the waiting arms of the rescuing MTF, with a story that she would tell for years. The old man came up from the floor into the chamber with the screaming man. If the old man had been paying attention, he'd have recognised the place as the containment cell he'd escaped only hours ago. He'd have noticed that the door was open for the first time in years. But all the old man saw was fear strapped to the table. The old man grinned widely, his eyes wrinkling as he did so. And then, the scream was cut short. The old man stopped and opened his eyes, and there, in front of him, was a collection of concrete blocks in the shape of a man with a painted-on face. The arms were wrapped around his meal's head, which was twisted at an unnatural angle. This thing had just interrupted his dinner. The old man finished emerging from the floor and felt an emotion he hadn't in a long time. Rage. Then the door slammed shut, and the whole room began to hum as the generators kicked back on. They were being magnetically lifted into the air again. He was trapped, here, with no food but the stubby-armed man. As the machines outside began to apply layer after layer to the outside of the cell, the old man slowly walked over to this interloper and raised a hand out to its face. His hand didn't pass through it as he'd expected. This wasn't flesh, it was hard like stone. And worst of all, he felt no fear from this thing. The spray paint bubbled away, but it still stood there, impassive, uncaring, staring into nothing. The old man turned away from it and looked around, and the thing was behind him. It twisted his neck. The old man's neck snapped and he screamed. He turned his head around to look at the thing without twisting his body. Still impassive, still uncaring. He pushed his hand through it again. The concrete resisted him but gave way eventually. When he passed through, it was hardly damaged. Again and again he passed through it. Again and again he'd make the mistake of looking away, and it would break another bone. They'd knit back together on their own, eventually, but the pain was real, and eventually, the fear was real too. The old man started to cringe away from the inevitable break, but as days turned into months, the concrete that made up the statue slowly broke down, crumbling away to reveal the rebar frame underneath. Most of the concrete found its way into his pocket dimension as he popped in and out of the world. When he was done, he surveyed his work, staring at it for hours. Its arms were just long pieces of rebar now, bent around the central frame. It wouldn't ever hurt him again. He began to slip into the floor, and as soon as he turned away, he felt the steel pierce his chest. He felt a rib snap clean in two. Fine. He'd destroy the steel too. Eventually, nothing was left but piles of dust, rust, and a memory of fear that the old man wouldn't soon forget. And there we have it, everyone. That was the termination of SCP-173. The sculpture has been laid to rest. Well, not really, but in regards to this video, it has. Thank you for being with me for this quadrilogy on SCP-173. If you stick around to the end, I left in a small treat for the Peanut fans. Next time will be the first video in a new series called the SCP-096 Cross-Testing series. As you all know, I have my SCP-682 Termination Test series, where I'm going to start another one where SCP-096 meets a load of the SCPs. And in this first instalment, SCP-096 will be going up against SCP-106. Be sure to follow the Twitter and the Facebook for video release updates, but if you can't wait that long for new stuff and want extra content too, then consider joining the Patreon. In return for supporting the channel, you get early access to all the videos, the finished sketches, exclusive videos and sketches, audio collaboration opportunities, your name in all the credits, and a lot more. And thank you to Toby2Leg1, Andrew M. Ra, Kirito, Ravenclaw Angel, Meow Naki, Jet E Boy, Rex, Generals Alert, Curva Gaming, Christopher, Dr. Beans, JT Walker, Cherryberry, SCP-106A, Rick Drexen, Mori Pasta Pizza, Samby and Sugar-Free Shane. Big thanks to Dr. Rex, Kabara, Dr. Crystal Spice, Mr. Fishy, Montgomery, and huge thanks to Lupus Rex, Pastel Burn, and Zanan. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all soon, and take care. New data available. New data awaiting declassification. Administrator clearance accepted. Audio file available.
Breaching! Breaching! Clear left. Clear right. Room clear. Move up.
Lima 1, motion sensors on the drone are lighting up, detecting a lot of movement in your vicinity.
You hear that? Yeah, stay sharp. Door. There's dried blood and shit everywhere. Fuck! Eyes on! Eyes on! Command!
Shit! Lima 2, drop down the floor and support Lima 1.
Blinking.
Lima 2 is 30 seconds out.
Command! Remember how SCP-173 was terminated?
Yeah. Looks like we're going to need to recommission that containment chamber.